everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Not So Wide Divide. So today again, we don't have Tori. He's on vacay. Enjoy yourself, Tori. Sorry we had to do this without you. But we do have Mr. Brendan and Mr. Cody with us. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Good day.
See, you do it just flows, man.
Trying to diversify.
I mean, I get it, but some things are just that's like your tagline, bro. It's like, that welcomes our viewers with a loving hug.
All 9 of y'all, we appreciate it.
We love every 9 of y'all.
So even though, I guess I want to start by this because speaking of 9 viewers, so we had our little hiatus, and we had a really good run for a while. That we had, we're constantly growing in viewership, either listening or viewing on YouTube. And then we took our little hurricane hiatus, and when we came back, it was just flat. Like we literally had like 3 views, 9 listens, and it was just like not even double digits most of the time. And then we had a guest on that Brennan brought in to talk about the flat Earth and the flat Earth theory. And it was a really good podcast. Like I really enjoyed it. Made me look into it. And I just found out recently that he passed away. So I did want to kind of give a moment and tell Corey thank you for being on our podcast.
Absolutely.
We all, we're hoping to get you back and to continue the discussion on it. But his position and his ideas and his kind of passion behind it truly made me, I started following some people on TikTok, some flat earthers, and kind of listening to, I guess, to understand more of their thinking, I guess,
right,
and their positioning. But I did want to mention that, and I kind of did want to give a little a memory on Corey because, like I said, it was he did not have to come on here. He asked no questions. It was just like, yep.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was really sad that I saw that he had passed away. So I just wanted to mention that, not to.
Yeah, condolences to his family.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, on to the next thing. So what's our next bullet? What's happening in the world today?
Oh man, you want to talk about some cattle?
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's a good one. Since we're hitting on that before Cody didn't want to do my tagline. So throughout the week, leading up to or the day before, sometimes because we get busy, we'll text and say, hey, what do we want to talk about? What's going on this week? And Cody, it's going to be a shitty intro, but Cody said, conspiracy, man. Like, how about we talk about some conspiracies? And I thought about it, and I kind of really didn't know how to segue between each one and kind of tie them all in, so I kind of, my brain. And then he says, let's talk about the cattle this morning. And then you talk about the cattle, all the food plants catching on fire, baby formula going up in smoke.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, so, and then when you said this, I was like, okay, this brings back the whole conspiricy thing.
Now what's crazy is like I haven't gone down this rabbit hole yet. Like I've kind of trying to, so I'm gonna be going down this rabbit hole live and in living color, man.
Yeah,
because I haven't.
Because it's nobody, especially me, wants to believe that there are higher powers disrupting a food chain to this magnitude. And I'm not just talking about the cattle, right? I mean, chicken factories, pork factories, farms. Like you're talking about millions and millions of.
That's a lot of coincidence, man.
I know.
You know how my conspiracy brain gets sometimes, man, when we go down. But that's a lot of coincidence, bro.
I know.
Or some. Maybe there's some just horrible safety practices at all of these plants, bro.
But
for all to come ahead at one, within a year or whatever, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So nuts.
So the cattle thing, I'm going to separate that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the cattle first. I think it'll be shorter.
So 10,000 cattle died.
Can you pull that up, Brendan? In Kansas, I think.
Kansas
it's 10,000 cattle.
10,000 head of cattle. Right?
Recently. It's it
was 3 days ago.
Yeah. So I keep seeing 2,000, and I saw a thing from Kansas that said 10,000.
Most cities are saying 2,000.
Yeah, because they've downgraded it. But if you see the pictures and you see the video,
Well, I actually saw like an article from like a Kansas newspaper that
Yeah.
said 10,000. I don't know if they were just blowing it up, but
Oh, it's 10,000.
yeah, it's at least 2,000. We can agree on
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
That they're claiming it's somewhere in between 2 to 10,000 heads of cattle.
2,000 cattle is not like it's
That's
a
a
big
lot.
deal.
Though. That's a lot of steak, bro.
10,000 cattle, dude. That's feeding the state of Missouri.
Is that salvageable?
No.
Meat? Like just if they just fall over from heat. What's the risk if they die from a heat or like a bullet?
So a lot, right? It was like
If they find them the next morning, they can't eat that still.
No.
Why?
So, and this is where I was going with it. Was a conspiracy. So cattle have a different digestive system than any other creature on
Like
Earth,
two
right?
stomachs or something, huh?
Yes.
3 stomachs, some
Yeah.
shit like that.
These specific type of cattle, European Angus or European whatever. So, like, they are not heat tolerant at all, right? Their digestive systems make them an oven, right? So they have 2 chambers in their stomach, which one chamber generates heat to digest food, and it puts, so these cattle are not made to be in
Well,
excessive.
what idiots spend that much money bringing that much cattle
Right.
to a hot
Well,
climate?
that's why it's in Kansas City. It's not supposed to be hot. Got to 105 degrees in Kansas
Is that the
City.
only time it's been that hot there?
It was a record high. So, but this is on top of this, right? So, normally, when these cattle come in, so you know what a feedlot is.
Yeah, I might put a bunch of them in there with a bunch of food or something to fatten them up and stuff or something like that.
But yes, so they take cattle that aren't supposed to be in heat, that are heaters by nature, and then they throw a blanket of fat on them and literally make them gain 40% of their body weight in about 2 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, off to the slaughterhouse.
Okay.
That was delayed a week. So these cattle should have been harvested 7 to 10 days ago
Okay.
because of they knew it's getting hot. They knew what. So it's kind of bad mismanagement and heat, and the cattle shouldn't have been there at that weight.
So, like, whoever's doing it, are there any, I guess, fines or punishments other than losing, obviously, a lot of money worth of cattle? Like, these people, if they're that irresponsible, should not be allowed to purchase cattle anymore.
It's not that so they're the only ones that lost, right?
I mean, I get it,
So,
but like,
what they do
like,
is that-
like I'll hunt. I'm not,
Yeah, no.
but like, I'm a firm believer. Like, if I'm going to eat an animal, like, I don't want it to suffer. I don't want it to, you know what I mean? So,
Then stop buying beef from a grocery store.
I mean, I get all that. But what I'm saying is, like, that's unacceptable.
Oh, and they would agree with you.
Like, that's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like, there
I
should
mean,
be
again,
some
they're
type
the
of
ones that are
fines
lose.
or-
So when a farmer goes to a cattle, like to a feedlot, most of the times the feedlots buy their cattle from their farmers. So what the farmer's like done, the feedlot takes on the responsibility of growing that cattle and selling it at a higher weight
right,
to make their margin.
right, yeah,
So, and some don't. Some have agreements with larger cattlemen
right.
that says we'll split the difference, right? Like you pay for the feed, and we'll feed them, and we house them, and we do all this, and then we go to the market, we split the difference. So some farmers, some cattlemen, like
I
lost their
always
ass.
wanted to look into, and you probably know because you do more of that kind of stuff. Like buying a cow directly from a farmer and then having a butcher
Yep.
harvest that animal, and like I wonder how much difference in the money.
Not much.
Is the meat better quality?
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
going to talk off air about that. I think I
Absolutely.
would really like to look into that because I have a huge freezer. Like I have the availability to put that. That's always something I've always like. I think I would support local business and it would.
So we have a local butcher shop here that does that. And they actually do it with grass fed, grass finished, which health wise, and this is the biggest thing, your palate as a consuming American has been adapted to grazed cattle that are finished on corn or soy, right? That it's like, oh, look at the marbling, right? It's all the fat in the meat. That shit's not natural. Like, cattle aren't supposed to gain
that much weight.
400 pounds in a week,
Right.
right? I mean, but again, that's what happens. It'd be the same thing as a sumo wrestler, right? You ever seen like sumo wrestler trainings? Like they come in at
Oh, yeah.
180, and in 6 months they're 450.
Right. Right.
Because they eat
They just
15,000
right,
calories a day.
Right.
And it's like that's not good. It's tradition. It's all the things, but it's like it's not good for anything else. And cattle are no different. When they put cattle in a feedlot, they literally stick soy and corn in front of them 24 hours a day. They're not
just
feeding them protein.
sit there and eat.
Then that's it.
Fatten them
That's
up.
it. They're not eating anything that has any health benefit to that cattle
Sure, it makes
besides
it taste
making
better,
it fat.
though.
I
mean, I don't know. I
it's-
haven't had anything to compare it to.
I'll hook
but-
I'll hook you up.
all right.
I got plenty. Because again, that's what to find local farmers.
So I don't want to cut
No,
you
go
off,
ahead.
but so I've tasted like say it's like saltgrass, like the chain, and it's supposed to be like those cow are fed on a different type of, and you can taste the difference. And
Yep.
so I understand what you're getting at. I've never tasted to my knowledge. I stay with less fat on it, like because normally that's what you want for the flavor. You want the steak
Right.
with the with the big fat.
Marbling in the meat
Right,
and all
right.
that. Grass-fed, grass-finished cattle don't have that. It has more of a pure meat. I mean, again, it depends how you cook it.
Right,
You
I'm
cook
sure
it in duck
everything,
fat, or you
yeah.
cook it in beef tallow, or you cook it in a healthy fat, coconut oil, something like that. Like, it adds a lot of flavor that's still in it. But the meat does have a different taste. It doesn't have that. It still has that kind of buttery, like
Right.
it still tastes like a good steak. Like it's still good.
But it's not
it has-
gamey, is it?
No, I mean,
Is it like how a deer has a gamey or a rabbit has a gamey taste to it? I'm not a huge fan of that gamey.
so this is what I'm gonna do for you. I'm actually gonna cook you a steak from the supermarket, grass-fed, grass-finished, and then a deer steak.
All right,
And I have them all. They'll look exactly the same,
all right.
and I have you taste the
Ready? You want it on this taste test?
Oh, absolutely, yes. My mouth is watering just listening.
So I mean, again, I eat.
Now, like I will say this. So I don't know how my grandmother made it. This was. I had to be in grade school. That's how far back that this is. But she made a deer steak once for me. That was one of the best cuts of meat that I've never tasted one since that good. I don't know what she did to it. But it was good enough that I remember it,
Yeah.
30 years later, right? But I remember eating that and going, there's no game taste to this. I don't know. Like I said, so I know it's possible.
It's very pot, and it also depends, just like anything, when that animal was harvested. Right? If you shoot a big buck in the prime of rut, that buck is full of testosterone. That buck is full of,
All those
things that
gamey
are going to
things.
make him really gamey. It's no different in pork, right? Like if you shoot a wild pig and like it's not. I feed you like you would like a sow, like a wild pig, a sow, or something like that. Boars, it's almost impossible to eat for an average person because it's
They're that gamey.
extreme. It's gamey. It's kind of musky. It's not like.
Doesn't sound good at all.
But if you cook it, again, country folks, how they cook things, they learn how to cook the, unpalatable things out of things.
I'll taste it.
But if
Like
you eat a sow, like a wild sow,
that's a female.
yeah, it's like it doesn't taste like pork. It's
Good
good.
shit.
Doesn't taste like it doesn't.
I've never had
Yeah,
wild
it's
pig.
it's completely texture's different, taste is different, color's different.
Like you know me. Like we both tasted a cow tongue from that woman for that summer job.
Just Charles.
So you know me. I will taste stuff, and I'm open minded to try almost anything. Yeah. I mean, I'm open to
crazy.
try it, but that gamey flavor is almost like coconut to me. Just fair warning. Like
Yeah, it's not. I guess it depends on what your definition of gamey is, because like to me, to eat rabbit has like no game taste. Like I don't
can taste
taste
it.
anything
on a
what-
wild rabbit, not
what
a
you
farm
could.
raised.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So how you've had it cooked and all that stuff. Now, when you start getting like elk, buffalo, moose, things like that, they're very gamey.
I've tried maybe an elk burger or something from Bass Pro Shop. Maybe it was elk. It might have been one of the.
It's farm raised though.
Okay, because I was
So
about to say
it's-
that
No,
didn't
that's
have
great.
very much game.
It's
Like that was
very-
actually pretty
it's
tasty.
really good. But farm raised anything compared to a wild
Wild harvest,
night and
right,
day.
okay.
Because again, they're not searching for food. They're not out like their muscle structure is different.
Yeah.
They're
That makes sense.
So
So they eat
it's-
different stuff.
they're
And they,
like farm raised elk are not walking the mountains.
Right,
You know, they're not using their muscles in a different
I'm
way.
sure, like you said, I mean, like I'm a firm believer in you are what you eat. You
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
I mean, I'm sure that has a huge difference in
They eat the same types of food. It's just how they go about gathering them.
Right.
Right. A wild elk is going to walk a mountainside for days grazing. You know, a farm raised elk is going to sit in a pasture and eats whatever's in
yeah,
front of them.
and have unlimited access to whatever you want to feed it. So if
So-
if corn makes it taste better, you can feed it corn.
Well, that's
you know,
that's
a
the
lot of-
difference between like most, especially like elk, buffalo, like those guys. Like they're not trying to change the flavor profile because most people that buy them don't want that. Right?
They want that-
want
that
an
almost
elk. They don't
wild-
want an elk that's been fed corn because it does make it sweeter. It does make it fattier. You eat elk because elk is
a lean.
like, almost extremely like
Right.
very little fat, like, if any.
Like I would eat horse, bro. Like that's like I would try it. Wow. Yeah. You know what the only thing I really have an issue
The
with?
United States is the only country that you can't buy horse meat.
I know, and I'm not saying I want to
I
go kill a
think
horse
Canada.
and
I
eat
think
it.
Canada you can't buy.
What I'm
horse
saying
meat.
is like I would try pretty much anything. The only thing I really have an issue, and I don't know why, but like, you see like on TV or whatever, people eat like lion, or like another predator just seems weird to eat to me. I don't know why. It's a mental thing, I guess, or like shark or something. I'm like,
I've eaten shark.
I would try it,
Shark
but it
is-
just feels weird to eat another
Shark is
predator.
really, really good.
I don't know why that
You
is.
feel you got a brotherhood with him? You are a fellow predator.
I don't know if that's it.
I've never heard of anybody eating lion.
Like I was watching some show.
I mean,
and it was in another country.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like a delicacy or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because it's a big cat and I wouldn't eat a cat. You know, if that's what it is. But like, then I was like, well, shark. I don't know if I want to eat a shark.
Well, it's the same thing with the dogs. Like that's a.
Yeah, I'm not eating a dog.
I mean, either.
I mean, if I was starving, I'd eat you. But like,
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, if I was in another country or whatever where horse meat was like a thing, I would try it. You know, I'd probably try lion. I'm not gonna lie, just because if it was in front of me or whatever, I would at least take a little tiny piece of the taste.
I've
of it.
eaten zebra.
How was that?
Not good.
I wouldn't imagine
It was
that
not
would be
good.
that good.
I've eaten llama too.
Llama?
Yeah, not good. And it could have been how it was tasted. So, there is. I'm trying to think of the place. They haven't done it in a couple of years, obviously, because of COVID. But it is the. Shit, what is it called? Fouche Parish does a. Somewhere's in the Rose. I can't think of the Rose Civic Center or something like that. They do this exotic cook-off. And there's like 50 booths.
Oh shit.
And they have silent auctions, and it's this big old thing. And we sponsored it for a few years. And they get to table, and everybody gets little cups of everything that all these people are cooking. And it's actually the first time I ever tried Nutra,
Oh,
which is amazing.
which is such an ugly animal. But I would
It's-
try it once.
If you so it is an ungamey rabbit.
really,
If you look at it in a cup, it looks exactly like a rabbit. Like
Right.
you would not if you put the back.
it's
leg
in
of
the
a
name
Nutra-
though, Nutra-Rat.
Yeah.
Like, they should call it a Nutra-Rat bit or something, or just a Nutra. Not it's the rat part that I think.
Or just-
I mean,
says
you
Nutra.
look at a squirrel, it's just a rat with a puffy tail. But
Yeah,
you
people
know,
eat that all the time.
yeah.
It's not that good either. You ever eaten squirrel?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it ain't bad. It's not like like you said. If I'm hungry, I'll eat it. But if there's something else on the table, I'm not eating it. It's not that great. But yeah, so there's an exotic thing, exotic food, and dude, they had giraffe.
Giraffe or zebra?
They had giraffe, but I didn't try the giraffe.
I thought that was endangered.
So there's one of the main sponsors that started putting this on. Like he is a huge there's this safari club of the world or some shit which you have to be loaded just to be like it's a private club kind of thing, but they do these $100,000 to go kill a zebra or $500,000 to kill a giraffe, and it goes, you know what I'm saying?
Like
same
go to
with the
safari
lion
hunts and
Yeah.
right, okay.
And he brings back all the meats, and he does his mounts, and he puts these mounts in the
Right.
place. And I mean, it's really educational. They tells you the stories behind why this giraffe was killed and why
mean,
this
at least it
lion
was
was
eaten,
killed. And
you know?
well, exactly, they donate the food. A lot of it's here, but he brings some
Right.
back. And I didn't try. I was gonna try, but they didn't. They ran out. Like by the time I had enough balls to go. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Bring that over. And they're like, wait, no. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But everything else, some things were like local to the air. Like they had one place that had like blood sausage, which I tried it. My jowls just kind of watered up. Like it was bad. Like I'm like, I don't see how. And people were like digging it, but it is so. It tastes like blood. It tasted like iron. It tasted minerally. Like it was really, So
Like I said, I would take a small bite out of it and try it. I can't promise I would like it, but I'm all for if you want to cook a couple steaks. Me and Brennan will come over there and we'll do a taste test.
Because I'll tell you what, I think you would be surprised at and one thing, like when you eat wild game, if you have to eat it well done, don't eat it. You can't eat wild game well done.
Well, I don't eat my steak well done.
Then you'll be fine.
I
If
eat
you
my
can do
steak
medium
rare.
okay, then you perfect.
Right.
Because if you eat wild game beyond a medium,
I think it's just my opinion, but I think if you eat any meat past a medium, you've cooked all the flavor out of it.
Yeah.
That's just.
it's not. It's the texture changes.
Right,
Everything.
right.
It just
All
it's,
the juiciness and goodness goes out of it.
And look, man, I am aware, and this is the thing that like all these guys, like they talk on Joe Rogan and Steve Rinella and all these guys that promote hunting and subsistent living and kind of
Right.
try to do even if it's just one animal a year that you can provide for your family, like do that, which I 100% agree with. But some of these guys got to understand that it's not sustainable for every person in this country
Right, to go out and kill
kill an animal.
Right.
Like we have to have agriculture.
Right.
If not, like you're not feeding 350 million people
No.
a year on subsistent living. Like it's just
Right,
impossible. So it's like, but I do think everybody at least needs to. I understand everybody can't hunt, and I respect that, but I do think everybody needs to at least try and expand their palate when it comes to wild game and even some of these not like invasive species like Nutra. Like if people would get over the fact that some of these things, or oh my God,
You have to change the name.
it's like it's good. It's the
Like
same
how they
thing
call
with,
it. They don't call escargot snails. We got to
Yeah.
change the name of Nutra, and people would probably try it.
You're right. It's the same thing with some fish. Like it drives me crazy that like there's so many fish that people don't eat, but they eat tilapia.
Right.
Like tilapia's so good. Like that's
Oh,
like
I
worse than
like
eating
fish.
bacon. Like tilapia is crap for like nutrition wise. Like it's not good. It's not. It's farm raised. Like you're never gonna find tilapia in the wild. It's 100% farm raised. They
not a
literally
fish
eat
eater.
pig shit. Like the pig farmers take
Throw their shit
and they
in the
throw it
pig
in the
shit.
tilapia farm,
That's what they eat?
and that's what the tilapia eat.
Oh, it tastes like bacon.
It's well, I mean, it is. It's not good for you. And I'm not trying to shit on tilapia farmers, but it's
Alright,
just
no
not.
problem.
It's a cheap protein, but it's like if you're looking for cheap protein, eat peanut butter.
I love peanut.
Yeah, well, me too.
Don't tell people that because ain't gonna be peanut butter.
Peanut butter
shelves.
shortages.
Yeah.
All right, talking about peanut butter shortage. I went to freaking grocery store the other day, and we are never out of peanut butter in my house.
I'll
There's
see
always
that.
at least
Yeah,
a half a
yeah.
jar, and it's like, okay, time to get 2 more.
Right.
So-
Us too. Have you tried the honey peanut butter?
I love it.
That's phenomenal.
So, one step, like, I got a local honey guy. I'm gonna have to get don't buy the peanut butter, the honey in the peanut butter.
Just buy peanut butter and put my own honey in it?
Yes.
Is it better? I'll try it, dude. I love peanut butter, and I love
I
honey peanut
got
butter.
some honey. I'll give it to you.
All right.
It's
I mean, all the peanut butter in my house right now is honey peanut butter, but I'll
You
go
can
out and
still
buy
put
a
honey
jar.
on it.
I'll go buy a jar. Right? What you suggest? Like Jif or something?
What, peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just use Jif. That's why I was going so on. And there was literally every other brand of peanut butter, and not one jar of Jif. All of the off brands, all of the
Peter
expensive
Pan's
shit.
good, man. Like the Peter
They didn't
Pan
have that.
Honey. It's good.
All they had was all these off brands. They had one jar of Reese's peanut butter, and then they had like all the sunflower butters and almond.
Right.
I love Reese's. I hope their peanut butter's not bad. Like I had to buy the Reese's peanut butter.
try it
because
yet?
I didn't try it yet.
It's okay. It's not Jif. Like,
Oh, nothing's Jif.
Huh?
Nothing's Jif.
Well, I know, but like it's not. It's okay. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to like. I'd rather make your own unbiased opinion about it. But if that's all the peanut butter they have, I'm gonna eat it. Right?
If they wouldn't have had that, I'd have got the other off-brand shit. That like I
Yeah,
mean,
peanut butter is one of those things, man. Like I'll go like great value with a lot of things, but like so my mayo, Blue Plate,
gotta be.
right? My ketchup, Hunt's, you know, my mustard's French's, you know, I gotta have my Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Oh, that's a.
and my peanut butter's got to be Jif, man, or Peter Pan if I'm going for the honey.
So, dude, we were just in Colorado.
What about you, Brennan? You do any of those off name brand for any of those things?
I'll do a lot of off-brand. I'm
I
not
will
that
too,
picky
but-
about both things.
But like for whatever my condiments have to be freaking name brand.
I don't think I've had off-brand peanut butter. I think we've only had
I
like
haven't
Jif.
either.
I've had like
Well,
off-brand
I had
ketchup.
it
It's
once,
fine.
but it was like a little packet. And I was like, oh my god, that's
You know, he
horrible.
didn't grow up like us.
Huh?
So you know he didn't grow up like us.
Oh no,
I didn't have name brand peanut butter until I bought that shit myself.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't even a fan of peanut butter until I started buying it myself.
Man.
It's just dry. It's almost like trying to put cardboard on something.
But dude, you know, we travel a good bit. Everywhere we go, nobody has what we have. Like, there's no Blue Plate. There's no like coffee. Like, I love community coffee, and I like to try coffees when I go. Like,
We
local.
bring our coffee with
So
trips.
I used to bring seasoning, right? So for the parade, we were out in the parade. I used to throw small packs of Tony Sachet. Like that's just And so we used to bring some every time we travel. Just throw it in the suitcase and have it because we cook when we go. Like try not to eat out a whole
Right,
lot,
right.
just, unless it's like a local restaurant. So in Colorado, we in this little bitty. It's called Twin Lakes Village. The population's 30.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was amazing. But anyway, so a little town about 25 miles away that has a grocery store. I mean, it was the size of a large convenience store. Was their grocery store, right? Like produce aisle was, maybe the size of this room that we're in, So I'm walking around and I'm like, man, we were cooking steaks and we were cooking some other stuff throughout the week. And so I'm trying to get everything. I'm like, okay, there was not the Airbnb that we were staying at had literally like salt and pepper. That was it. Like no garlic powder, like no other seasoning whatsoever.
Like hit the little grocery store if you want.
Yeah,
something.
let me see what they got, So we walk around and lo and behold,
Yeah, Tony's.
whole bottom shelf. Tony Sash.
That's some people don't understand flavor.
So I bought two, and I left one over there. Just whoever's coming behind us, like, hey, y'all can get a little taste of something.
That's awesome.
And they had Blue Plate mayo.
Really?
I was
So them people was like, if you gonna eat here, you eating good.
I was floored. I was like, I ain't seen Blue Plate out of like the Gulf South. Like,
And see, I wouldn't have known that because we don't really. So we're kind of the opposite. We go on vacation, with the exception of if we travel with my mom likes to cook. So if we travel with my mom, she's gonna cook. A couple days probably. But for the most part, if it's just like me, my wife, my kids, and we go like a week to the beach or whatever, we're gonna eat out pretty much almost every meal. But we like doing local.
Yep.
Like we like to find. My kids, like, what do y'all feel like eating? Arby's. Arby's anywhere. Let's so that's kind of our thing. We'll go out and find little local restaurants wherever we're at to try to, experience different foods. So yeah, I'd have never known that Blue Plate was like
it's not. They had
not a national like in all the.
Oh yeah,
Was it Miracle Whip or something?
Miracle Whip and Hellman's. Hellman's is almost everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Like everywhere. But Blue Plate is
Blue Plate needs to step their marketing game up, man.
Well,
'Cause
the
that's a
community coffee is
superior
another
mayo.
one. Like they are,
Right.
it's regional.
Oh, I know that. Like I have family members in Georgia that we mail community coffee to
Yeah.
because
And
they can't get it there.
I honestly, when it comes to like the diversity of community, like just with the different blends,
Yeah. It's just a good coffee.
coffee. And look,
And like, I'm like you. I'll try coffee, because I love coffee. So if they have you got to try this local coffee. And look, probably one of the better non-community coffee places. Things that we went on our honeymoon in Jamaica, and they have I forget what the name brand
Blue
coffee
Mountain.
is there, Blue Mountain, and we got it from Jamaica.
Yeah.
That was a spectacular
amazing.
coffee. I brought a couple pounds home with me, man. 'Cause it was just that was a good coffee. I was surprised,
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised at how good that coffee was.
it is great. That's
Yes.
probably one of the best coffees that I've had outside.
Right.
It's a different coffee.
It is.
It's bold.
Yep.
It's rich. It's deep.
Yeah.
It's not. But yeah, Blue
It's
Ridge
good.
is
It's a
good.
smooth,
Blue
it's a
Mountain
good coffee. Yeah.
We actually
You ever had that, Brennan?
Never.
Now, I don't know how if they package it, it's on the shelf at a store or whatever. I don't know how good that is comparable. It's like we got it straight from the location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like coming here and getting community coffee.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, well, and so it's even crazier. It's even deeper than that because over there, like for that, Blue Ridge is y'all say they're sandals or something like that.
Yeah, we did.
Jamaica's not a big place,
Right.
So when you're in Jamaica, you
can see the mountain, right. Yeah.
So on the shadow side of that mountain, so most resorts are on.
We went mountain biking on that mountain.
So on the shadow side of that mountain,
Right.
that's where all the coffee
Oh,
beans
really?
are grown.
Okay. That's awesome.
Every coffee bean that ever comes from Blue Mountain from Blue Mountain Coffee is
It's
grown on that mountainside.
That's cool.
And that's why they say it's because it stays shadow. Like I think it's some. It only gets like an hour and a half of sun a day.
Right.
They roast them right at the bottom of the hill, and then it's right like
Right.
everything is bam. So you literally probably got coffee that
Like
is
final-
hours old.
Right. That was so good. So good.
Yeah, Jamaica's probably the one of the because when we go places, I try to get into the history of the place we go.
Right. Oh, it's rich
You
in
know,
history. It really
And
is.
it is. It's crazy. Like there was some shit about Jamaica that I never even would. Like I was like, that's not true.
I got offered drugs a lot
Well,
when I was there.
yeah.
A
Stupid.
whole lot.
You didn't have like wear your badge around your neck.
No, but I'm like, dude, I don't want. It got to a point I'd get pissed, man, because I'm like, I would tell them no, and they pushy.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, no, dude. Like,
We did an excursion. We went to the
I had to threaten one dude.
Blue Hole. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a big plunge pool. You climb up this. It's like this river that cascades down a mountain, and you kind of walk up it, and then you trail down the other side. You wade through this river, and then you jump into these.
No, I
plunge
didn't even
pools.
do that. It sounds cool as shit, though.
Well, one side is like kind of a fence in the mountains. As you're walking up the trail, it's. I feel like I was at a Dodgers game with hot dogs, and cotton candy, like everywhere you go. Dude, some
Get
got
your marijuana,
pre-roll
get
joints,
your
some got
hashish.
brownies, some it's like vendors along the fence
Oh, yeah,
that are
bro.
just selling. Dude, some dudes just had like these straight buds that are just like he's just holding, do what you want with them.
I got offered shit like cocaine, man.
Oh no, it didn't. It was
Yeah.
all weed.
Like they started out like, hey, you smoke, and at the time I think I was smoking cigarettes or cigars or something. And I was like, yeah, I smoke cigarettes or whatever. No, you smoke weed? I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good. You want some hashish? Like, nah, I'm good, bro. You want some cocaine? I'm like, do you want an ass whooping, dude? I don't want anything. Like,
Yeah, it was pretty, and it's got to be a popular thing because we went, like I said, we went off grounds a few times. And
us too, yeah.
Even the driver was like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm like, no, okay, just ask.
Now
I'm
look,
like, okay.
everybody at the resort, the drivers, most people that own shops, all super friendly, awesome people. Some of the locals were like just some horrible people.
Yeah.
Like I got cursed out for white and stuff. Like it was,
Really
it wasn't a good experience for us.
off.
Off property.
Property.
Yeah. No, if you stay on the Sandals Resort, like those people are
Even
amazing.
those employees.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we had an unbelievable experience. We did hear things, not targeted at us, but we did hear things like that throughout because you got to think some of these people, because a lot of cruise ships go there.
Oh yeah.
Cruise
I'm
ships
sure they probably got a
unload
lot of assholes.
tens of
and stuff.
thousands
Right,
of people
right.
that go to these places, but individually, we were always in small group when we did things, and it was
Well, we're like my wife and I are You know, if we go on vacation, like I don't want to just lounge. Like I want to do things. You know, so everywhere we go, like we're gonna go find something to do. Like we don't just want to sit around. Other than maybe if we go, even no, I can't say that. 'Cause even if we go on a weekend at the beach, we're not just lounging on the beach all day. Like we want to go do things. So I'm sure if I stayed on a resort all the entire time I was there and everything, like I probably would have had a blast. But that's not us. Like if I do that, there's no point in going. You know, like I want to see the
You
local
can do
culture.
like
I want
when
to.
we talked to like the concierge over there, and they advised us not to leave property.
They told us that too.
And I
but
said,
we
well, I
still
don't
left.
want to. I don't want to. And he says, well, don't leave without us. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he says, we'll have somebody escort y'all like privately, in a
Right.
group. And it wasn't. I mean, it was a little bit extra, but it wasn't like calling the bus that just has multiple stops, right? Like our guy was for us. Like he.
Oh,
drove
just
us.
like a private guy. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, no, we
He
didn't have
drove
that.
us to our place. He brought us to wherever we were about to walk into. I think it was like $30, like for him to do that for
Right.
us. Like it was,
which is not much less than I paid like as a tip to the bus driver.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, I wish I'd have known that.
and
That'd
so
been
it was
cool.
like we didn't deal with the other people making people angry. Like it,
Right,
you know,
right.
and then on property, like
Oh, you can't ask for better service on
and
property.
you can't like I don't know if y'all had they would not take our tips.
Now,
Would not.
so two people took my tips, and I'm fine with it because I offered to obviously the bartenders, but you can't just hand them a tip. Like you have to fold it in a towel or a napkin, put that there, and say, you know, can you take care of this napkin for me? Because they're not allowed to take tips.
Yeah.
So they'll take the napkin, put it in their pocket, and I'm saying the next time you go to the bar, you cut in the line because not a lot of people tip them. And the little guys, so we weren't staying at the main. We were in a honeymoon suite, off kind of behind the property up. So they would come get us on a golf cart. Well, I started tipping those guys because, you know, I felt bad having to make these guys keep coming back and forth. So they started bringing me any kind of food I wanted. So like I love the jerk chicken and chili cheese fries. That's what I ate like 90% of the time I was there. So they actually let me cut donuts in a golf cart. And that's how much I was tipping those dudes. Like I was like, can I drive? He's like, I was like in the back of the property. He's like, all right. So I'm driving a golf cart. I was like, you want to do some donuts? He's like, let her rip, bro. Got donuts in the back of the property on his little golf cart thing.
Yeah, we
But
left.
so I tipped them heavily, and I tipped the bartenders.
You're just paying for the VIP experience.
Pretty much.
You
yeah.
don't have like that's
You don't
the thing.
have
You don't
to.
have to.
No, I know, but
You get the VIP experience, so almost everyone has a butler option. And this dude will literally follow you to the beach, and he'll stand in the back. You won't see him, and you go to look for your drink. If your drink is half, he's gonna bring you another drink. No questions asked, no tip expected. But like they go above and beyond, and I made friends with one of the guys that I don't know if he's a management guy. I say made friends. We kind of made friends on Facebook. He's come to the United States a few times on vacation.
Oh, really?
And he'll
That's
message
cool,
me, hey,
yeah.
man, are y'all going to be in Michigan? I'm like, no, I'm not. I live in Louisiana. I'm not going to be in Michigan. And so we messaged back and forth and just had inquisitive conversation with them. Like, they literally make, like, equivalents of $2 or $3 American dollars a day
Yeah, it's
as their job at a Sandals resort.
right.
And so by tipping them, you know, you tip them $5 is nothing. It's a day and a half pay for them.
Right.
So it can create big problems for the resort and for that person that knows if you know the local people know, well, you work at Sandals and you're making, they already make more than locals, but if they know that Sandals now allows tips and like they can create like they will kidnap people for $100. Like literally
Well, I was
kidnap
tipping
your
a
ass
bus
for
driver.
$100.
I was tipping a bus driver like $20.
Well, the bus driver's a little. That was
But they take tips.
correct
Like,
because they
they'll
don't
tell
work for
you.
the resort.
Right.
They're contracted.
So they must be rich, bro. Because
We had-
tipped the shit out them bus drivers. That dude came back and picked us up. So Charity was getting her hair braided, and I bought some cigars and stuff while I was there. So I'm waiting for her, and the bus driver's leaving. I'm like, oh crap, dude. So I went to talk to him. He's like, no worries, man. He said, I'm gonna bring these people back. I'll come back and get you. I'm like, all right.
Ooh,
So
that made me nervous.
So look, I was nervous as shit, but like the compound kind of thing that we were on, little shopping center, it was a tourist area. Like I felt confident I could at least get a cab back to where I needed to go. So I'm like, all right, and it probably helped that I had a couple of drinks in, you know. So, but he did. He came back with the bus and just picked us up and brought us back. So like we tipped him very well.
That's crazy.
You know.
Dude, this is the only time like. So we landed at at the airport in a cattle call, which I hate. So I try not to travel like that. Like we're just waiting for everybody that's staying,
Right.
like waiting for all these other planes to come in. And then once there's 150 people that can get on this bus,
Right,
they drive you
yeah.
down to
Stack on
two different
frickin'-
resorts and have everybody,
Stack on them suitcases like
Yeah, and I just-
kill you.
the bus sways because there's so much weight in the back of the. Oh,
Yeah, that was a horrible drive. And we were like an hour and a half from the airport.
yeah, us too.
It freaking
We
sucked.
stayed in Ocho.
Us too. That's where we were at, Ocho Rios. Yeah.
Yeah. So we drive down this thing, and he's just passing people in opposite lanes.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
And-
He's like, "Don't watch the road." Our bus driver's like, "Don't watch the road. Let me do
He's
this."
in a 100-passenger bus, and I'm like, hey, like cars are coming. He's running cars off the road,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, oh, the rule in Jamaica is the bigger car wins. Oh boy, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, bro.
We come around this corner.
Did y'all see a fatality? We saw like two on the
Yes.
side of the road. Yeah.
I was. It was like no big deal.
Yeah. And it covered up with sheets whenever we were there.
No, this just like this dude
Oh,
was hanging out in the car.
ours. Both of the ones that we had, like literally, there were just some white sheets on top of them. Like you could see a little bit, but like they covered it up with something.
Oh no! Like we
This
come
would
around the
not
corner,
just happen. The cops were
it
there
didn't-
already.
No cops, no nothing. And the guy, our driver says, if you're squeamish, don't look.
Of course, everybody's looking right.
A
right?
lot of people were like, because we were kind of in the back of the bus.
Yeah.
And then you heard the ooh, and everybody. And I was like, I gotta look now.
Yeah. Now I definitely have to look.
Dude, I was like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
and it was like people weren't panicked. People weren't
Yeah, they're just like going around them and shit. Yeah, I didn't care.
going around them.
Yeah.
Like people were taking pictures. Like,
Yeah.
come on, this dude is obviously dead.
Hell yeah.
Hanging out of the car, like mangled. Like, not to get too descriptive, but it was horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
Like nobody. This was not something that anybody. This was like normal daily activity.
Oh yeah,
And
bro.
I was like, holy shit. And then cops are passing, and this dude's passing people on the shoulder. Cop passing on the lane. I'm going, we're getting a ticket.
Yeah, no.
No, wasn't even questioned.
No.
Like, just kept rolling. I'm going, oh, this is. I told Kim the day before we were leaving. I said, Kim, let's call the desk and see if we can get a private car back to the airport. Because I'm literally like, I don't want to get back in this bus again.
Right. It's probably safer though,
And so
because of how big it is.
call them, and they were like, "Well, we don't have any. Our cars are booked up for the day." And I was like, "Well, that sucks because I don't know if I can get back in this." Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if I can get back on this bus because I was,
Oh, yeah,
I honestly had scared for my life. I was like, "This is not cool," you know. But like on the way back, it was like normal everyday bus ride, like cool, calm, no craziness. Like wasn't trying to drive in other lanes. We just
Depends on the driver you get.
going back. Yeah, it was two different drivers.
Yeah.
Our driver in the morning, and it was like
That dude was like, "I'll get paid."
He was
by
telling
about the amount of
jokes.
people I can bring.
that's
Oh yeah,
yes, it was like $10 a head must have been because
Right.
was like,
and I'm
I
gonna
gotta
make
go
3
back and get
trips a
another
day.
one.
Right?
And bro, it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So
It really is.
uncomfortable. But yeah, so back to this cattle because boy, we went whole full circle on that.
Yeah, that's how we do, man.
So cattle and food outages. So Brendan, if you can Google the amount of food or supply chain factories that have gone up in smoke.
Yeah, like chicken factories and feed that have burned. Not meat factories, like food processing plants.
Let's see.
Like right there, plant fires, boom. Like that's how. Look at that. That's not to count all the chickens that have been killed and shit too.
Well, they had that other. I don't know if it was a bird flu.
That's in Kansas too. Look at that. Tyson Foods, meat
At
processing.
least 16 fires
16
since
fires.
2019.
They got some horrible.
Yeah, it's been,
They have some horrible safety practices at these places.
man.
Gotta be. Look at that.
Another headline, 18.
So that's something else too. So even one step further, because it hasn't just been. It was a chicken factory or chicken processor,
Yeah.
but even more, there's been like 3 fertilizer factories, like
That's
in the
nuts,
last
man.
year.
It's nuts.
I excuse fertilizer.
Well, because it's highly combustible.
Exactly.
Right. Now, a lot of people, I don't know what kind of food processing plants these are, but like, so I had a buddy of mine. He lives in South Carolina, and he was telling me one time because he worked at I want to say it was like a feed company or something like that, and I didn't realize it, but so the place he was at, I think it was a lot of corn that they would store in these big vats, and the friction and the gas release from the corn as it kind of sits,
It's ethanol.
it's right, and then just the mere friction of the corn settling sometimes. So they have safety valves that like lets
Pressure out.
all that pressure out of there. If they don't, that shit will explode
So there was one not long ago.
and catch on fire. You know,
So-
like it's
And
that's just from corn. And people don't realize like.
so
you know,
I've seen it firsthand.
I haven't seen it first.
So
he
listen.
has. You know.
So when we hunt and we have feed corn to deer and attract it. So around here, you go to a local feed store, you go to Academy, you buy 50-pound sacks of corn, and well, in the Midwest, you don't buy corn that way, right? You buy it by the bushel,
Oh,
or
really?
you buy it by the truckload.
Oh wow.
And you walk up to the silo, and if you have bend, or like us, we just
fill
have
it
the
up.
bed of our truck, they pull you under the silo, they pull the valve, it dumps in the back of your car,
Weighs your truck or whatever, and that's how you pay.
yeah, and you roll. It's like so it's like, okay, cool. I didn't know this shit. Next, we did it for years, and I was like, well, we pull up, and we hear sirens. Like, what the hell is going on? Well, they had pre-called because they smelled when they released, I guess, loaded one guy. They smelled that, hey, this is not going well, so they called the fire department. Fire department's in there. It's country fire department. It's almost all volunteers, right? So
Right.
everybody's just showing up and pick up trucks and shit.
Yeah.
And bubble lights, like old school.
Right. You're talking about a rural community.
So he
right.
backed everybody else up, and they had to, because it works. It's like a chambers, right? They had to release the bottom chamber, and when they released it, that bitch caught on fire,
Oh,
and
shit.
like you ever like lit a barbecue pit,
Yeah.
and it just poof, and it
Yeah.
blows all the. And once the gas is burned,
Yeah.
it's it. So they shut the safe, like they hit the safety valve where nothing would go in the silo, and they dropped that last bit, and I don't know, maybe 800 pounds of corn hit the ground, and it lit a freaking fire under that silo, like, poof, and I was like,
Like a
what
rocket.
the hell? Just like a rocket
going
Yep.
off. That's nuts.
It was
man.
crazy. And then he was like, yeah, he's like,
Did
man,
y'all feel it where y'all were?
hit the
Like,
ethanol? No, we were probably, no, we didn't feel it. We were probably 30 yards away from it, but you could,
crazy.
like, you couldn't feel the,
concussion.
yeah, but you could feel like the heat.
The
Like
heat,
it was
yeah.
like a poof, like a quick,
That's nuts.
like I said, like a barbecue pit. When you lit that barbecue pit, it was like a poof.
A lot of people don't realize that, man. Like that's,
Yeah.
that's
Whole silos, if they, especially like
yeah.
the old silos,
Right.
and it's stored for 10 years, and because corn, they store corn forever. It's not good if they don't have it properly vented, or
Right.
if these
And
crazy
and
heat
I
waves
haven't,
come
I
through.
haven't, and I haven't read any of this stuff, but I would imagine that the supply chain problems, these companies are probably having to hold these raw materials a lot longer than what they would normally hold them, and I'm sure that leads to some problems. you know?
100. So
I haven't read any. Like I said, I have not dived. I'm just
Oh, it's you hit the nail on the head. So I follow this guy who's an organic farmer, and he does a lot of his. He's a mass scaled organic farmer. He's a no-till guy. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So,
I know what tilling is, but
so
I guess I
tilling
know
is
tilling.
not good.
it's not going to till your land.
No,
I thought it was
Yeah.
good for it.
it is, but it makes you lose topsoil.
Okay.
So the more topsoil our Earth continues to lose, it goes up in the atmosphere, the less fertile the ground becomes. So that you have to start more fertilizer, more fertilizer, more fertilizer. Fertilizer goes downstream, poisons your water.
Right.
So your organic guys, your true, I don't say your earth huggers,
What's
but
funny is I'll tell you about the science project I did in high school.
your true guys, they're trying to get more, especially like here, like sugarcane guys, places that have high erosion and,
Right.
and less, things that hold land together. They're trying to teach them that a no-till policy, number one, allows you to grow more, not the first 2 years, but over a 10-year period will allow
Have
you
a
to
higher
grow.
yield, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it saves you on fertilizer. It saves you on, it keeps your topsoil back in and all these other things. So
So how do they get the nutrients back into the ground without tilling it?
you burn it,
Oh, really? Okay.
just like you do here. So like
I know
after
they burn,
after they
yeah.
grind, they burn the field and then turn that back over, and that brings
That
more
creates-
nitrogen back to the
okay,
ground
okay.
and creates more little
Makes sense.
ecosystems. So the whole no-till thing is trying to become more popular. This guy's been doing it. Can't do it on a large scale, right? When you mass farm tens of thousands of acres, like you get these big plows in here. And,
Right. It's probably
it's
easier, I'm sure.
definitely easier, but now there's, again, technology's a great thing. They're starting to make machinery that simulates a no-till, right? It plows but doesn't till, doesn't turn up. Because again, if you ever the Dust Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
Dust
yeah.
Bowl. That again, they estimated that we lost like 8% of our of the United States topsoil just
Oh,
during
wow.
the yeah. It's crazy. Once topsoil's gone,
It's
you
gone,
can't
right.
replenish it.
Right.
So anyway, this guy just had to bury like 140,000 pounds of onions because of supply chain.
Wow.
Could not. He's like, either I have to go buy my own trucks and truck it to these places. He said because there's nobody that's come and get it.
That's nuts.
You know, truckers turnarounds aren't happening like they've had in the past. You know, we planted this shit a year ago.
Right. You got to, yeah.
You know, we have to get out the ground so we can replant.
Right. Yeah.
our
You got to
next
harvest
crop.
it. Right.
So it sat in the warehouse, and he was literally sitting on a ginormous warehouse of onions, talking, and he's like, "So if your onion prices go up in the next,
This is why.
This because I am one of many,
Right.
and I am like nothing,
That's crazy.
and this is what I have to do. So can you imagine if people are doing this at
Right.
large? And he's like, literally, he's like, this is all lost revenue.
That's crazy.
You know, like
I'm sure he probably sold some locally, like to his local supermarkets.
he gave
and
it
stuff.
away locally.
Really?
He put, and of course he's making content,
Oh,
so
yeah.
hopefully he's making some money back
Right,
on his
right.
YouTubes and his
Right,
social
yeah.
media stuff. But he called, and another guy he also does asparagus, and could not find workers
The harvest
to
of
come in and harvest it in enough time to ship it. So he put out a thing. And he said, if you pick it, it's yours.
No shit.
Yep. And then he does it a lot. It's kind of it's just shit like that like conspiracy. Like it's hard for me to believe that everything, when you isolate it, for it to be a conspiracy, but when you look at it,
Right.
at 10,000 feet,
Well,
you go. Tell me, all these chicken farms and all these fertilizer places burn at the same time or
right.
the same month.
But if they're not used to holding that much material because
Correct,
they can't
yeah.
ship it out, that they're not in the practice of dealing with that.
Correct.
And that causes issues that they're not prepared for. And let's be honest, at most workplaces, policy changes and safety practices don't come into place until after some shit happens. Because normally, that's when they go, "Oh shit," we probably should spend this extra little bit of money to fix this problem so it doesn't happen again. So I can completely see where, I'm sure they probably all have similar practices and similar things that they do in these factories, and then you add thousands of pounds of extra, raw material or raw food or whatever that they process, and I can see where that can lead to some issues, some storage issues. They probably had to put that shit where it wasn't supposed to be put at, so that they try not to lose profits, and then it goes up in flames. And
And
they're
corn's
trying to-
even worse because the government actually pays.
right.
Truly pays farmers just to grow corn,
Oh yeah, yep.
and it may never get used. And it's like
They also regulate and make them get rid of like extra. It's like the government only lets them put so much corn out there on the market, and the rest of it they have to just get rid of. Like they just dump it or whatever. Like,
and
it's
they also
crazy.
pay.
I don't
So
understand why I don't just ship that to like homeless shelters or something, but or even a
So-
third world country or something.
so like people like
something with it.
Elon has said this. Like when you talk about ending world hunger,
right?
like there are
Like we dump thousands
It's-
and thousands of pounds of food.
it's fairly
a year.
easily done. Like you just got to have a process and have a thing in place. Like again,
But you can't control the global food market if you freaking flooding it with free product,
or you're paying farmers not to farm.
Right.
So there's a CPR program across it's a federal program that they'll actually pay farmers to let fields grow,
And not farming.
not farm them for years.
Can I get on that? Because I don't want to farm, but I'll take some money
So
not
the
to
land-
farm.
So what the farmers go ahead and do in this exchange is lease it to hunters. It can't be farmed. It can't be like they pay
But the
you
deer
to,
will come eat it, right, or whatever. Is that what?
What's that?
It's like the deer will come eat it, and the
Well, the
hunters
farmers,
will-
yeah, they'll still plant it, and they lease it to hunters. 'Cause, I mean, you ever go into a cornfield? I mean, it's massive amounts of deer.
Right. That's
You
what I'm
know?
saying. Yeah, it's a hunting on like baited field, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's not.
It's
So it's not
natural.
baited because as
Right.
long as it's planted, it's
Right,
not
right,
baited.
right. I get it. Yeah,
So
that's nuts.
and they got to.
So if anybody out there from the government, if you want to pay me not to farm,
you got to own the land first.
I mean, I own my backyard.
It's not
It's got to be
enough.
worth something.
Nothing.
Like I
I
promise.
mean, it's
won't-
worth something to you.
I mean, I promise I won't plant any corn in my backyard if they pay me.
So even for like,
If not, I'm going to the freaking market today.
yeah. So anything, most states there, it's 80 acres
Oh, okay.
To
Yeah, I don't
get-
own that much.
to get any.
I
Kind
mean, how
of-
much they paying? Because
It's not much,
Oh,
not for 80 acres. But when you own 10,000 acres
Right.
and they're paying $7 an acre,
probably more than it would make if they actually
you
harvested
know,
the corn.
$70,000 a year to do nothing.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I take it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, I mean, farmers make high revenue, but extremely low margins.
I bet. Yeah.
And then when fuel and diesel goes
Oh
up,
yeah,
it
yeah.
decimates them. You know, but then again,
And then sometimes the harvests get ruined and shit. Like it's a narrow. Yeah.
very very small margins.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess it's like most things like that. You do it for a labor of love. You do it out of tradition. You do it out of
That's what
you
they know. You know.
Nobody gets
Right.
into farming or ranching to be like, I'm gonna get rich. It's
Right.
like being a teacher. You know,
Right.
like it's just not something that it happens. But yeah, it's. But how do you not, like you said, how do you not say there's some kind of conspiracy involved? When,
Oh, I could completely see why that leads to conspiracy, but I could also see, like, logically why, that domino effect that leads to that shit.
yeah, because when you isolate each incident, you look at it, it's like, okay, it makes complete sense.
Right.
You know?
It's just hard for me to believe, man. There's some people out there just burning freaking, like this big conspiracy, like the Illuminati is just burning freaking food
what they
processing
think.
plants so that we get hungry.
Yeah, and baby formula. Like they're busting up into these baby formula factories. It's where
Yeah, I
you
don't
can't get
believe
baby
that, man.
formula.
It's rough, bro.
You know?
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe there is like the secret new world order that's freaking trying to control baby formula.
see.
But like,
I think that's just a damn comedy routine. Like I honestly
hard for me to
can't
believe
seriously
that.
wrap my mind around that.
right? I can't.
Just like I don't know, probably the whole, like you said, you brought it up, like the whole Illuminati thing. Like there's this new world order. There's this organization. You know,
like from the shadows, secretly controlling the. And look, I could be wrong, man.
of course you could be.
But I just, man, that's hard, bro.
It's kind of like a hiding in plain sight. You know,
Right.
it's just, is it?
Hard to believe that.
Is it really
And look,
happening?
I really believe if you follow the money, like you probably have some of that stuff going on, right? Like, we talked briefly about all the.
Control?
Well, just like so. I hate to get down this because it's getting kind of late, but like, but you take like China for instance, right? That's a big money market, so they are going to have a lot of control of certain narratives and certain type of things, and you're going to have owners of sports teams and owners of media outlets and owners of XYZ movie production company that's gonna want to tap that money market, so they're gonna kind of spit the same narrative, right? So, I mean, I guess if you look at it in that retrospect, that yeah, okay, maybe, but to say there's like a conscious effort of like 5 individuals who are from the shadows putting together all these pieces like they're playing some intricate 3D chess match. That's
like
hard for me
Bill
to believe,
Gates
man.
and
Yeah.
Elon, and like you take the
Yeah, like they
10
have like little
billionaires
secret
and-
meetings where they're smoking cigars in like a back room and they're discussing world domination, like Austin Powers style
Yeah.
or something. That's hard to believe, man. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that one.
Man, I can't like because most of those guys like they don't even like each other.
Right.
So you're telling me they're conspiring to
Like we could put on this big show.
The narrative is that they don't like each other.
Right, but really secretly they all on the same yacht with little hairless cats. Like,
It's like the Simpson thing, right? They say like the Simpsons have predicted the future, like Austin Powers, right? Like that's actually happening.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Simpsons guys are just psychic.
I mean, have you seen that?
So look, some of it I think they just got extremely lucky, but like it's kind of like Notre Dame, right? If I wrote a book 4,000 years ago, some of the shit I say is gonna come true.
Yeah, at some point,
it's that whole,
Twin Towers will fall. I'm sure some Twin Towers will fall
right,
somewhere
right.
in this world in 4,000 years.
It's that whole premise behind if you put a chimpanzee on a typewriter and
He'll
he
make a
goes,
word.
eventually he will write like. I forget what it was like.
It was like a Shakespeare play.
Like
or
a
something.
Shakespeare play, yeah. Like eventually he's going to hit the infinite amount of combinations. At some point, it may take him a gazillion years, but he will write Shakespeare, just out of sheer accident. So, yeah, it's a true theory, and it's believable because there's the possibilities of key combinations is also infinite. So, eventually that combination will come together, and he will have written a Shakespeare play.
So I mean, it kind of goes, I guess, along like the Big Bang Theory. Like people say that people that are anti-Big Bang Theory say that it's impossible.
I don't think anything's impossible.
I agree with that 100%. But it's impossible that one big explosion has created, this perfect balance.
I think it's just sheer accident, man. Like I think, people don't understand. Some things are just accidental. Like it's not. Like just the right at that moment in time, the right things got, and then bam, under the right circumstances, the right, yeah. There might have been a gazillion Big Bangs before that, and this was the one that.
I mean, if you dive down into what they're at now in the universe, that there's over 10 billion galaxies. Right. Like, I can't wrap my head around that either.
Now, see, like this is. I'm not trying to go down all these routes, especially the time we spent talking about Jamaica. But so, like, life forms on another planet is something I completely believe is possible. And it's just because of the vast amount of universe that they have out there. Like it's.
I know you're a big Democrat fan.
Oh yeah.
So
got a big old.
There's a recent. I don't know what it was. Bill Clinton interview. Bill Clinton was like huge.
Yeah, that's not a recent interview. I think I know which one you talk about. This is the one I think it is. It's not recent.
No, I mean I say it's been in the last couple of years. And they asked him about
Area 51.
Yeah, and he said, well, he had a chief of staff, and they really pushed to uncover.
Well, one of his things was like, I'm going to find out when he went into the White House because he was big into that.
Yes, he still is.
Yeah.
And they said, well, he said he talked with some of the top, NASA and security advisors, and he was like, okay, so I want like a real answer, And they said, well, yes, we have vast discussions about life, outside of extraterrestrial life. And he says, so what's the arguments about? Like, where does everybody stand on it? And he says, well, half of us believe that it's 85% probable, and the other half of us believe that it's 95% probable. and he said at that point, I was like, okay, like question's been answered.
Right.
If you have all these top guys and they're like that's their argument and that's their discussions.
Do I believe that we've been visited? Who knows? But I think there's something out there. There's got to be.
You know what?
If not, that's a lonely ass universe.
I think it's impossible not to.
Not to what?
Not to have something else out there.
Right. And I'm not saying it looks like us, and
no.
But who knows, man? There might be a Not So Wide Divide podcast on another planet somewhere out there.
Yeah, the alternative dimensions and.
But that would make us get some views, huh?
Hopefully,
first extraterrestrials land in South Louisiana, come talk to us on our podcast.
I think you brought up the whole.
Eat your heart out, Elon.
He isn't.
He might be. Elon, come on our podcast, man. We'll find out if you're really an alien.
I really think he's the visitor.
He might be.
Are you saying that the whole, people want those markets? Like, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew there was a vast population difference. I didn't realize it was that. United States population is 331 million. China's population is 1.4 billion.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
India's almost 1.4 billion.
Right.
So it's like this whole idea that
Oh, yeah, the Asian market, and I'm saying Asian, not just China. Like the Asian market is freaking.
Indonesia's got 270.
Yeah, it's like half the world's population almost, like right over there. Yeah,
8 billion people, approximately 8 billion people live on Earth.
Right.
And, yeah, almost 4 billion is Asian
Right.
population.
Right. Yeah. So that's even if a third of that likes the Lakers, that's a lot of jerseys, bro. A lot.
Yeah, that's nuts though. I didn't.
Yeah, it's huge, man. Right.
Yeah, so they definitely need to.
That's why a lot of those corporations will bend over backwards for China.
That's a lot. I mean, it's
Because they want access to that market, man.
It's literally almost 5 times out of the United States.
Right. And the Chinese government controls what they can and cannot get there.
Watch,
Right. So it's
You know?
it's almost like a
not
perfect market if you're trying to sell your product
If
because you don't have
get in.
competition, right? If
They
you
allow
get
you in, it's in.
right?
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think even like the food chains, KFC, those places, like, they make them change their menu.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not even like
Right.
KFC here and a KFC there.
Well, we talked a little bit beforehand. You take certain movies, the American version and the Chinese version are not the same.
Yeah,
It's because they make them edit and take out a lot of stuff.
that's crazy. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
insane. Monkeypox, baby. What you know about monkeypox?
I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail for this one. So I can word this properly. Monkeypox is, from what I've read, came from like one homosexual. I don't want to say party, but like a fest. What do you call those things? Like a festival type thing, like a week-long homosexual festival in like Germany or something like that. Most of the monkeypox cases can be traced back to that festival. There was a lot of sexual things
true?
going on. Yes, yeah. There was a lot of sexual activity going on during that week-long fest, and like 90% of all the monkeypox cases can be traced back to. I don't know if it's quite 90, but it might even be more than that. But that's where the vast majority of that monkeypox came from. Was somebody from another country that had monkeypox went there, and that kind of spread it out, and that's how it spread. So if you're not going to like a homosexual festival in Germany or other, Germany,
So
I think
is that the only way it can be transmitted? I know.
No, I don't.
Nothing about
I don't
it.
I don't think that's the only way it can be transmitted. But that's like I guess the most common transmittal is like body fluid. Like it's not airborne. That kind of stuff.
Oh, I saw that. I thought it was a joke when I first people were talking about it. I saw it on social media and stuff. I was
But
like,
they have vaccines for that too.
I didn't think it. You gonna take it?
No. If I was going to a homosexual festival in Europe, I would.
But why? If it's not the only way it can be transmitted. Oh, okay. So this is as of May 23rd. Monkeypox outbreak is primarily spread through sex.
Yep. There you go.
So if you are not engaging
Yeah, like
in sexual activity with somebody infected with monkeypox,
right.
you have
And I'm a happily married guy,
a
so I'm pretty
very-
safe. I'm not going to catch monkeypox.
Okay. Yeah. But it's, so much part of the news now.
And I'm sure. Well, of course it is. They gotta, they gotta play sleight of hand. But like, if you Google like,
It's
I don't
like
know.
what are they moving?
I don't
from or
know.
Something else.
I don't know. But it's always something. That's all you do,
I thought
bro.
you don't believe in conspiracy.
I didn't say I don't believe in conspiracy. I said some of them are just harder to swallow than others. Go like just Google like gay festival or something. Small monkeypox gay festival.
No.
Go Google that.
I know what you're talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Google monkeypox gay festival. But I hope you got your safe filter on because there might be some pictures.
I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Got that.
Yeah, Google that, Brennan. Monkeypox gay festival. Tell Kim that I made you do that if she checks your search history.
I don't want that to, like Google it.
Look, is that it? Yeah, look. Gay festivals linked to monkeypox outbreak in European. You went to the wrong one, man.
That's no.
Yeah, look at that.
All kinds.
Yeah, that's where it came. I'm not being
I know. I've heard
ugly.
that.
Like that's where it came from. Like you ought to read some of the festivities they had in there. They had like a stud and mare festivity, where you either a stud, a mare, or the person that was holding the leash. It was crazy. If you, you know, whatever. Different strokes, different folks, I guess. But I'm not trying to judge. I just wish that they would be protective of monkeypox at these festivals, man.
All the monkeys that they're infecting.
A gay fetish festival in Belgium. That's it. Can you get monkeypox from a fetish festival in Belgium? Oh, it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's a horrible disease.
No, yeah, I'm not taking nothing from. Like, I wish those people wouldn't. I don't think just because you're at a gay festival that you should catch monkeypox. I just I'm not trying to be ugly. That's where a lot of these cases have come from. Like, I'm not. I think it's horrible. I don't want those gay people to catch that. You know, and most of it's male. It's not really big in the lesbian community. They're a little more selective on their partners.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with HIV. Then.
Right. It's because males like their hump.
Creep.
You know,
Well, and
you get a bunch of gay dudes together. It doesn't change the fact that they're sexually active and strong, and I guess less picky than their female counterparts. It happens.
That's not going to be taken well. Like,
I'm not saying, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to.
I do.
I'm not trying to be ugly.
I do.
I'm a dude. I get it. You know.
Yeah, that's just. I'm scared somebody's going to clip all that out. If you'd be Joe Rogan, you'd be get canceled.
Right now.
Be
I'd be
done.
canceled right now. Yeah, I mean, edit it if you got to edit it. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be like monkeypox. And that's another episode of Not So Hard to Find. You guys have
Shit.
monkeypox vaccine. Have a good day.
So who you voting for in 2024?
I don't know who's running.
As of right now,
I mean, give me some names, man. Give me some names. I'll put it out there. Is DeSantis running?
did you hear the news on that?
Uh-uh.
So this was this week.
I told you, bro. It's
Elon said
Ooh.
if he runs,
if DeSantis runs,
he's gonna
Vice
back
President?
him.
Oh, he's gonna back him.
Yep.
Oh,
I said I'd vote for him tomorrow.
that's huge, man.
I'm going, okay, like that was. But he's like he's a politician.
Yeah.
I'm worried about 2022 right now. We have to make sure,
Right.
Because they were asked.
Did you see? He gave a lot of tax breaks in Florida recently, man. Like like Floridians are not got to pay like state tax for gas, baby food. I think there's a couple other things like for like a year to help kind of ease the burden on people in Florida. He's given like a state tax break to those people. It's going to cost them like the state like a 1 billion dollars, but that's going to be extra money in the pockets of Floridians. I thought that was awesome.
Miami-Dade's still not going to be happy. Miami-Dade County and Broward County won't be happy.
Why? Well,
That's your two most heavily, your two
liberal.
counties that are very liberal.
liberal counties.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'd say DeSantis versus Trump.
Well, that's what this article says.
He
He would be Trump's most severe rival.
I think he beats Trump, man.
I do too.
And look, there's no
Mike
secret I
Pence
like
is
Trump.
supposed to be running.
F Pence. You heard it here first. F Pence.
Nikki Haley.
I don't know who that is.
Look her up. She's
So I think the Democrats.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, no.
Really? Mike Pompeo. Can't see that happening.
No.
Tim Scott. Kristi Noem. She's a governor of South Dakota. They're saying that she's got irons in the fire to run.
I heard some good things about South Dakota.
So Kristi Noem has done so.
And I'm sure
She's kind of controversial in the conservative aspect because she was against the Keystone Pipeline because of, the native lands that it crosses and all of that
Right.
situation. But she's also about an alternative, right? Like she's not against the Keystone Pipeline
because it's oil.
Correct. She's against it because it's gonna wreck a lot
Right,
of,
okay.
and it's gonna wreck their like.
I think that's worth looking at. Like, I don't disagree with that, especially, like, there's a difference in being pro-environment and being anti-oil,
Correct.
right? I am not for pollutant and all that other, I'm for, let's save our environment as much as we can,
Somebody, I agree with Cody 100%, maybe percent. But so, of our recent travels of the last few years, even through COVID and all this stuff, I am so like we it's nothing in Louisiana. Like you don't even see it. Like I'm running over right now. Like everywhere you go outside of the state or anywhere outside of the South, nobody has straws anymore.
Oh, that aggravates the shit out of me.
I don't mind.
I don't like the paper straws. We got metal. We bring metal straws with us.
But I don't mind not
like,
drinking out of a straw.
I don't
I'm
mind
okay
it.
with it.
I don't
But
want a paper straw.
cardboard, paper.
Right.
Stop.
Just give me a regular cup.
Just give me a cup.
Right. Yeah. You're gonna wash it. I eat with the silverware.
Like exactly.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Like if I'm at a restaurant.
Because if you put a straw, I'm going to use it, and I put it
Yes.
on my lips, and I'm like, oh shit, it's that cardboard
Right.
shit. You sticks. To, like, oh, it's trash. Stop.
Like
You're wasting cardboard.
so. My thing is, if I go, but the problem is a lot of the vessels they bring you your drink in, you almost have to use a straw with it because that's the way it's designed. But I'm fine with a cup. Like if I go to your restaurant, I'm going to eat out of a plate that you washed. I'm going to eat with the silverware that you washed on a table that you cleaned. Eating food prepared by somebody else that hopefully washed their hands.
That didn't have gloves on.
I can't drink out of a cup that you washed. Like
You preach to the choir.
right, just do away with the straw altogether.
Stop making straws.
Right.
Stop making straws.
Or bring us some metal ones
and
just
stop
clean them
making
good.
dimes. Another pet peeve I have.
Dimes.
A dime. What's the point of a dime?
I don't know. I don't like. I don't know.
Just
To
a
make
pet
most
peeve.
change with the nickels.
Huh?
It makes most change with the nickels.
That's what I'm like you don't need anything else to make up a dime.
Right.
Like they're small, they're insignificant, they really don't mean shit.
There's got to be a reason why they made a dime at some point.
No, because they minted it, and that's why.
I don't know.
Dimes
Somebody was like,
dimes are the least used coin.
why were they all shiny?
I mean, it's true they're insignificant
I don't-
compared to the budget. It
I don't-
really is, but it's still like if they could save $10 million a year and just eliminate dimes, and that goes on a ballot, would you vote for that?
Yeah. I can't tell you the last time I used a dime.
Exactly.
Most of the time I use my card anyway.
Well, everybody does. All of the time.
But I don't.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you could do it with the freaking
straws
penny,
and
too.
dimes. Stop making them. Everybody will still be okay.
Yeah, I'd still be fine.
Everybody will. Nobody.
Now I do like a straw in my car, right? Like if I'm driving. But I'm also okay with like the coffee style cups with a little peel back thing that I can sip. I'm fine with that too. I just need something to limit
Not
the amount
open
of
top.
right, not open top, because I don't want it splashing.
Yeah.
But even if the lids were just a little peel back, like a coffee type
Yeah.
lid on a cup from
Water
McDonald's, I'm
bottles, they
fine
have
with.
the spout that's already. Like,
Yeah. There's plenty of alternatives to so I ain't got to use a cardboard straw. I'm 100%
But there's
with you.
campaigns about anti-straws, and every time you see it, they pull in a straw out of a turtle's nose. It looks like the most painful thing that turtle's ever experienced, and I'm sure it is. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Stop making straws. Just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, I'm
Don't make them
comfortable
out
with
of. I'm okay with metal straws. Like,
Yeah,
I think somebody
reusable,
has a metal
washable,
straw.
yeah.
Yeah, we have them at the house. Like, I get
Right.
it. That's cool. But all the other products that you're making a straw out of, just stop.
Like you literally just have to make, like you said, make the lids with a spout on it. That's enough. That's really all you gotta do.
Small
People
little-
can sip. Like we've survived without straws for
Oh,
a long time. I mean, the Capri Sun industry would be kind of screwed.
sure.
But other than that, I think they're probably
Yeah.
because you gotta, you know, yeah. They have to put like a little spout you bite or something. I don't know. They figure something out.
Just tear the top of the bag.
Just change the design of the
the
bag.
side of the bag.
Yeah.
Rather than popping the straw, like
Yeah,
tear the
well,
top
make,
of the bag.
make the top of the bag longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Capri Sun.
Huh?
R.I.P. Capri Sun.
R.I.P.
My
Capri.
thought
Sorry,
would not be
sorry, Capri Sun. We're gonna do a maybe like an editing, put like a Capri Sun with some angel wings on it. You know.
So I'll have a moment of silence for Capri Sun.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. But no, I think it's about to, you know.
Yeah, look, I think if
Presidential-
DeSantis I think if DeSantis runs, he gets the Republican ballot. He would be the candidate. And yeah, I'd vote for him
Over Trump.
over Trump. Over Trump. Yep.
That's big.
Well, I think you get the benefits of Trump without all
Without
the
all
bullshit.
the bullshit.
Right.
That-
Right.
Look, I think it's, you know.
Like, look, I like Trump. I do. Like, I'm a Trump fan. As entertaining as the stupid ass tweets were, you know, like, why? Stop doing that dumb shit and just be a, you know, like, why put that asterisk by your presidency?
Because he's Donald Trump. And he
I
has to
know,
put it
and he
like
wouldn't
this.
be him if he did. But you can still have that same aura about you. I mean, look at frickin' DeSantis, and not have that other
But
side.
he's not
to it.
trying to be a caricature of himself that I think Trump tries to be sometimes.
I agree with that.
You know, I think DeSantis is firm in what he believes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Trump is too. But Trump has always been, and that's always been the controversy for people like myself. I think that like I was a fan of Trump. I never thought Trump would be elected, but I was like, hey, like if he sticks by his word, and he did for the vast majority of his presidency, like
Right.
what he said, he did. I didn't like how he did it, you know, and that's a big thing too. When you're, I think in my position, when you're leading something, it is about how you. It's not just about A to B. It's also how you got there sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
And
to
it's
a certain
like,
extent.
you know. But for the most part, but he comes off with so much shit. Like, just take his phone away.
Right.
They took his phone away after month 6.
Oh yeah.
He's our president right now.
Oh, I agree with that.
He's getting reelected.
I think a lot of the votes that Biden got were not necessarily for Biden, but they were against
Against
Trump.
Trump,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Like, I think that was a big phenomenon
No
that
doubt.
nobody really like in his campaign prepared for. You know.
Especially when all the you know, the sexuality thing came out and how like
I think a lot of that shit
you
was
know.
kind of made up too, and that whole Russia bullshit, like that was a big waste of time. Like it just, I don't know, man. Like I got sick of hearing that stupid shit.
I get sick of hearing it all on both sides. The same shit with, you know, Hunter Biden and the laptop. And
That shit's like, look,
like
I'm sick of hearing it too. I just wish they would deal with it. You know, but like that's been confirmed.
I'm not disagreeing with
Right.
it, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, and I'm not saying, but a lot of things just need to be done in private until it's done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Like do your investigation.
yes,
have your
shut the
shit-
fuck up. Stop
Right.
talking about it. Stop going to the media about it.
Right.
Do your
I agree
investigation.
with that.
Find out what it is, and then come to the public and say,
Right.
"This is what we found out, and here's everything that." Like,
And in a perfect world, that works. I think the problem is too much shit gets covered up, man. So people are like, well, let's just put it out there, so they have to do something about it. And then you get like this, and nothing happens.
still gets, that's what I'm saying. That's so
Right.
it doesn't. You know, the
Right.
mean doesn't justify the end, and it still got covered up, and nothing still got done about it. and you just pissed
How many
off.
fucking laptops
you know?
that guy's got to lose? By the way, he's got like 3 or 4 of them. That's the most. I would never have Hunter Biden doing any kind of shady shit for me ever. Like, how dumb do you have to be? The dude just leaves 3 laptops full of incriminating shit. Like, and like confirm they were his shit. Like, just at what point do you go, hey man?
Yeah, what was
Like you can't do shady shit no more. You just got it.
I don't know if this.
You're the world's
I'm gonna have to
worst
Google it.
shady politician guy ever.
And his password was like Smoke Crack 2000 or some shit.
There's no way that's really his
I'm
password.
telling you, dude. Like you have to Google it. Like this was.
I hope that's true. I really do. Oh my god. Oh shit.
I'm telling you, there was. It could have been a.
Oh man.
First one came up was just Hunter 02.
The fucking president's password to his shit is just. Oh man.
No, it was Anal Fuck 69.
Jesus Christ.
I knew it was bizarre. Okay. Yes, and this is the New York Post that posted that.
Oh my god.
So it has been confirmed and revealed that Hunter
bro.
Biden's password was Anal Fuck 69 on his laptop.
And that's who you got going to other countries to exploit money from people. Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, I guess nobody would have guessed his password.
You're absolutely right. I would have never in a million years would have been like, we got Hunter Biden's.
Well, you know, like the Mission
Daddy
Impossible.
Rocks, Junior Biden, whatever. No,
You know, like
no.
I always think about like National Treasure, like Mission Impossible, and they're like, it's fast password. They put the light on his shit.
Right.
Those are the keys. Like,
That would be perfect, bro.
it just kind of spells out. You're like, wait.
And they're trying to put it
Is this
together.
really
like,
what it
no.
is?
Like, no
They
way.
put it in a little code thing and it brings
Right.
out, anal fuck anal. Like, it brings out all of the different
Like, no.
possibilities. Like, wait, is this for real?
Access granted.
Look,
Jesus Christ, man.
Everybody's
you can't
got-
make that shit up, dude.
everybody's got their vices and everybody's got their stuff. But like you said, like, this is the guy that y'all have paid millions of
Not to
dollars
mention he's
to.
a superb artist. Because his art sells for millions. Legit.
You j-
His art sells for millions. It's not because he's a good artist. It's because of his last name. That's the way that they can funnel money to him.
I didn't even wait.
He's an artist, man.
$5,400.
Yeah. That shit. Yeah. You know that?
I didn't. Oh,
Yeah. That's the way they can pay him money for because he's an artist.
I didn't know this.
$75,000 to $500,000 for his large paintings. Yeah.
But experts say it's actually good.
Look at that shit. I mean, art's subjective,
correct.
but
It can't be real. I can't. Watch this. No, wait, watch. Where's this? So he does. Oh man, he does. So his art is that's one of his famous paintings.
There's no way.
I'm dead serious.
Jesus Christ. He's literally just blowing paint on a piece of paper.
Yeah,
You might as well put his nose
but
up
he's a
that.
known coke addict.
Right. That's what I say. Might as well just blow it with his nose.
I thought it was fake, but no. Look, I mean that's his.
Yeah, no, he's a legit. Look behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, I see him. We on the
Yeah.
same thing.
yeah. Yep. Oh, look, that was a picture of him blowing that freaking.
Holy shit!
This Brokeback Comanche right there in the middle of the Indian. What is that? Him on the back of an Indian horse? What's that in the background? That's how monkeypox happens right there. That can't be one he drew. That's got to be somebody making fun of it. If not, he did a good job drawing his own face. That's got to be like photoshopped. Yeah, that's
The face is. I don't know what the rest of the paintings is.
there's no way it is. He's giving,
I didn't know he was an artist till 2
I
minutes
did
ago.
not. Yeah, I didn't either.
he's giving an Indian a reach around.
Oh, why can I find that one?
Came up in images.
That's not real. That's not his shit. That's the original right there. Yeah. They're messing up a great painting. I mean, it's funny. I'll give it to him. They're messing up a great painting.
I mean, look, some of his stuff is. I mean, it looks cool.
It's not worth $500,000.
No. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't pay. Like you said, art is subjective.
Right, but they're funneling that money. That's how they're getting. Because he can't go to Ukraine and do all this shit anymore. Right? He can't go to China and be on an advisory board. He can't do that stuff anymore. So this is what they're doing now.
So this is new?
He turned into an artist.
Newfound artist?
Yeah, like this. He hasn't been an artist his whole life. Like this is like in the last probably 3 or 4 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's become an artist. And all these people are buying his art. You know where that money's going, man. People buying his art from like the like there's probably one of his artworks hanging up in a Chinese consulate or something. Like that's who's buying his art.
Dude?
Yeah, man.
Quoting his conspiracy theories, and he actually like gets one right.
Hey, a broke watch is right twice a day, sir.
Right.
About 5 art prints, $75K each. I'm in the wrong profession, bro.
Unreal.
Yeah, man.
I'm a little dumbfounded. He's asking $500,000
Which one?
for this piece right here.
Oh, somebody's gonna buy it. Let's got a little red dot in this for the China people.
I knew you were gonna say
That's go. That's
That's actually
you were
Japan.
gonna say
Isn't a red
that.
dot
Yeah,
Japan?
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, bro.
All right. I'm done.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Like if Elon wants to become a trillionaire, he just got to start being an artist too, bro. He can just sell his artwork. But no, that's lobbyists and shit buying that art, bro. That's what that is. It's trying. That's a way of donating money to daddy, without donating money to daddy.
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, man.
Great, that's Picasso,
Kind of like the crypto market.
right?
Y'all got crypto?
I have some failing crypto in my portfolio,
I mean, everybody. If you have crypto right now, it's failing crypto.
right? But not much.
Like I dabbled like $100, man.
Yeah, you ain't got it. I see somebody's got like some of these big celebrity guys that do some podcasts and stuff. Like they have lost
You know, if we
tens of millions.
if we get a lot of viewers and stuff, and we start making money off of our podcast, I'll be more than happy to play the crypto game. I'll have some money to put into that.
See,
you
I'm
know?
more-
So we gotta get our viewership up, man.
Okay, do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna start making some stuff. Start putting on our social media. Kind of get more stuff out there. Just kind of throughout the weeks, post more stuff. Y'all supposed to post some videos and stuff like that. I got no videos.
It's hard for me to like think about that stuff.
I
Dude. Like,
know.
you know.
Believe me, I know.
And then most of the time, like I'm not just at work. Like I can't just film myself like that and put stuff because it's.
You can every
not-
day when you get home, every morning.
Yeah, when I get home, right. But I can't
Every
do
morning
it, like-
before you go, hey guy.
I can't be like, but most of my thinking, like I'm riding around, you know, kind of, and thoughts. I can't just be like, oh, I grab my phone because of what I'm wearing.
I get it.
So I can't do that. Like,
You'd have to just preface it. I just pulled over, had a 2-minute thought that I want to get out.
no, it's not just that though. Like I'd have to like change
Just do your
shirts
head.
and stuff.
Show your head.
I
Big ass head. It take up the whole camera.
FaceTime me next time. You'll see what I'm talking about, man. Like the background, there's no denying where I'm at.
Well, no. I
Right.
definitely get.
And I'm also not gonna do that on the clock either. So I have to clock out or
You
something.
got a break. You got lunch. You know
I have to do
bullshit.
that shit at home, man.
No excuse. You do it
Start
before you go to
writing
work.
it.
30
I'll start
minutes,
writing
and you
it
go to
down.
lunch. You're taking a shit.
That'd be a great one.
I saw Post Malone said that 60 to 70% of his lyrics all the album that he's ever created
What is
have
on
been
on a
written on
toilet?
his shitter.
Like, so he does his best thinking.
That's what he said. That's
Yeah,
what he said.
brings a little notebook in there, and
That's fitting.
yeah.
Yeah. That's fitting. I guess he's not a Post Malone fan.
I've heard him try to play acoustic. It was awful.
Oh, yeah. Nobody. I mean, it's kind of like Willie Nelson. Nobody went, God, that guy's got a voice of a god. You know, like I mean, it just. You know, I mean, can't say that I'm a fan either, but you know, he's definitely popular.
He makes more money than I do. Yeah, so somebody likes him.
Y'all do this. I don't know if y'all do. I know that's one of those card games, the collectibles, like Pokemon kind of thing, but it's a game. If I told you the name, he's big into it. You could probably Google Post Malone, whatever game he is in.
Like a Magic the Gathering or something?
Something like that, yeah. He spent like $800,000 on one of the cards.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. What does he play?
Magic the
Magic.
Gathering.
There you go.
That's crazy.
$800,000.
I'll sell him every card I have for
Right.
$800,000.
But he says, I don't know. I didn't know shit about it when I heard it on the interview that I had. But he supposedly, like, I don't know shit about it, so I couldn't tell you if that's.
It's a strategy game. I had a couple of decks years ago. My little brothers played it, so to kind of have something to do with them, I went buy a little deck of it and started playing it. But like I would never spend 800.
So it's kind of like Pokemon,
Kind of like it-
cards have powers, and
yeah,
this power takes over
yeah.
this. And,
Like and different cards do different have different effects, and there's a whole strategy behind your different decks and stuff that you make, and it's like a card version of chess almost, you know, just way more rules. But your objective is to basically kill your opponent or get his life points down, but you got to get through his cards to get to him first.
yeah.
And each card has like an attack and a defense, and some have spells, and there's different turns, and it's not an easy game to just pick up in 5 minutes and know how to play it, right? Like you got to take some time, and you got to read the cards and know what the effects are. And they got referees, and yeah, like it's pretty intricate.
It's got to be. If cards are worth $800,000.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's been
Look at the
it's
letter.
been 30 years probably since I played freaking.
Logan Paul bought a $1.5 million Pokemon card.
Right. Yeah, that's nuts.
You know. Does it say what kind of? I don't know. I don't know shit about it, but I know we got to wrap this. It's been a long morning talking about a whole bunch of random shit.
We could probably cut this into like 10, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, look, I think like 10 minutes is like the, not that we get advertising, but like
Yeah,
10
but to
minutes is
monetize, it's gotta be
yeah,
10,
at least 10 minutes.
Yep. You see anything, Brendan?
It's a rare card. It's considered to be overpowered.
Now, until it gets nerfed, you know.
So guess what?
So a lot of times these cards will be so overpowered that like you can't use them in a tournament.
That's what it's saying. It's banned in every format.
There you go. So like he basically spent it for a card he could beat his friends with.
Hey, babe. You on the podcast?
Hey. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Not So Wide Divide, Kim. What are we not talking about? So, what we're not talking about is a way shorter list. Like, we have been down about 30 different rabbit holes this morning.
It's pretty bad.
So,
We got to start making topics and just hitting bullet points because, well, we don't have nothing to talk about.
yeah, we talk about
We
everything.
talk about everything.
Yeah.
We've literally talked about the 2024 presidential election. We've talked about Jamaica. We've talked about Post Malone,
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Or Magic the Gathering or whatever.
Yeah.
All the different meats you've eaten.
Yeah. Like, we talked about a lot of meats, too.
Yeah, we did. We talked about grass-fed, grass-finished meat and game
Yeah,
meat.
and Jared volunteered to cook me and my brother some steaks. So we'll see you later.
Oh.
Not today. I'm just joking about today. But what's that?
He didn't tell you about the turkey burgers?
No, he did not. He's holding out on us.
Eat turkey burgers?
Yeah. I
I
love
got a
turkey
badass
burgers.
turkey burger recipe.
Do
that
you
made
really?
myself.
But if you don't eat them,
Hey, good.
I think you would like it.
Look, I'm like a burger connoisseur, so I am way open to eating a turkey burger.
Do you eat avocado?
He does
No.
them really good. So yeah. So we were talking about Jamaica. I'm like, I wanted to like get in on that.
Well, you gotta
come to the podcast with us. We got an extra seat.
I just can't wake up early enough. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You can come in later. Like,
Oh, she's great at coming in late.
Golly. Let me hang up.
brutal.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we got to work on getting that streamed in here. She got it on the TV.
I know, right?
Oh, I have a puppy. Well,
You have a puppy?
Yeah, I got a dog yesterday.
Get out of here.
Now watch me show you, man. She's cute too.
Sure.
Well, that's my son taking over the kennel. But
That's awesome.
look at her. She's precious, man.
Oh, you got a lab.
Yeah, like a little, what's a mix? But yeah, a little chocolate lab mix. Oh, she's adorable too, man.
How's she doing?
Good.
What's her name?
Like, so horrible night. She cried pretty much all night long, which
Expected,
was
yeah.
expected. But she did not use the bathroom in her kennel, which is a plus. So I took her out this morning.
They
used the
usually
bathroom.
don't. Not in their kennel.
But they, well, we've had some stupid ones that over the years that have, like,
Well, I say usually.
right. But she did really well. So that was a pleasant surprise this morning because I
Good.
totally woke up thinking I was got to clean
You got a
a
couple
disgusting
months.
kennel, you know.
You got a couple months of housebreaking.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Yep.
But she's a sweet dog. Chance has been on us to get a dog forever, so we finally got
Proud
one.
of you.
But he's been great. Like
That's
my
it,
son's
man.
been really good with taking care of it. I think the fact that I threaten to take it to the pound every other minute probably helps. But he's been really good.
Had it for a
with-
day and you already threatened to bring it back?
you know, I gotta keep him on his
Keep
toes.
focused,
man.
huh?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. So of course, I mean, I have 3 dogs, so
Right.
and I've always had I mean, at least for the last 15 years.
I
I've
love
had
dogs.
At least 3 dogs.
I just, you know, there's some work,
are.
especially trying to travel. But like, Brennan's offered to
Dog
dog
sit?
sit if I have to go on vacation or whatever, and I think he's got a little temporary gate he's going to let us use to put outside to help out with
The
that.
income, it's not a gate, but it's like like
fence
they have at construction sites with
Yeah.
temporary fences.
Yeah.
I guess
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah,
You
anything
wanna-
will help.
I got plenty of that too. If you ever need it.
And
Putting the fence up.
yeah, eventually, yeah,
Yeah, y'all welcome to come grab it.
we're gonna have to now because we got a dog, so we're gonna have to put a fence up.
Just
But-
leash them.
Yeah, but like I'm a
Just
firm
don't let 'em
believer in
outside.
just like opening the back door, letting the dog go do its thing, and then coming back. You know, so yeah, we were in that standoff with my neighbor about the fence, but I'm gonna lose that one. So
You're waiting on them to put the fence up.
yeah, because it was my fence before, but my neighbor got like so pre-storm. She all she do is put a gate up. She got a completely fenced-in backyard.
Because of all the neighbors.
Right. But we haven't been there like 8 months, and she's not in a rush to put any kind of fence up on that side of the property. But she keeps telling us, you know, whenever y'all put y'all fence up, y'all, you know, and I love them to death. They're great neighbors, but I'm like, who says I'm putting a fence back up? I might not want to put one back up, you know. But she's like hinting around that we need to put a fence up.
So hint back and say, let's split it.
I might do that. I might be like, look, you want to split the cost of the fence for this stretch of the yard? Because she's really opposed to be staining her side of the fence. And I'm like, it's my fence. I'm going to stain. My entire fence is getting stained. Like, I've had fences stained and not stained, and if you're not staining your fence, you're not doing yourself any justice. So, like, yeah, if she wants to pay half of it, I'll leave her half. She can do whatever she wants with it, but my half will be stained.
And if not, the whole fence gets stained.
Right.
Because it's your fence.
It's my
And
fence.
you got to do the upkeep and you got to do
Right.
repairs.
Right.
and you gotta-
Right. Yep.
So that's the thing that we've been doing a lot of, like, because people have it. Because, of course, especially now, materials through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Even
yeah.
if you do it yourself, you're going
Right.
to spend thousands of
Yes.
dollars
Yes.
on a fence. And so we just like, and because people are like, oh, my neighbor, I said, I'll have the conversation with them. Like, I go to your neighbor and say, hey, look, your neighbor's fence is going to cost $10,000. And it'd be a whole lot easier for him to split this 3 ways or 4 ways, depending on how many neighbors he has.
Right.
You know? And most people just like, well, because again, a lot of people, when the insurance adjuster came, is that your fence? Yeah, that's my fence. They don't verify that. I will bet money that your neighbor got paid for your fence.
For my fence.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
But like, so if I'm an insurance adjuster and I'm looking at my neighbor's backyard, God, I hope she don't listen to our podcast because I'm not trying to make her. I love my neighbors; they're awesome people. But if I'm an insurance adjuster and I'm looking at my neighbor's backyard, you got 3 parts of her backyard that are shitty, like aged looking fence because it's not stained, and you got my fence that's stained, and then it goes into my backyard with that same stain. You know what I mean? Like it's obvious my part of my fence is for my
She could have said
yard.
we split it.
You know what's that?
She could have said we split it.
Yeah, I guess you could have.
So, because the thing is that then it determines, because your fence could actually be on her property line.
It's not.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, not yours, but I'm saying,
Right.
like, 99.9% of people don't get their yard surveyed before they put up fences.
I mean, you build though. Like
I get it.
Yeah, so like all of our properties were surveyed prior. Like we know exactly where our property line is because it was such a new build.
But is
when
there
we put our
markers
fence
that
up.
have stayed there?
There were when we put the fence up. There were still markers.
Fence is gone.
No, like there's still the posts and stuff are still up. Half my fence is still up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But and a lot of times it's not. Right there, so
Right.
everybody's like, well, yeah, this is the marker and this is the property line, and it's like, well, the property line is 2 inches this way, 2 inches that way, you know.
Right.
But so a lot of times it's just taking and saying, hey, look, let's just split it, and it makes them. The only time it makes a problem is like, I don't want mine staying, and you know.
Right. And look, she might like I said, there really are good people. Like she might might go for that, you know. But I mean,
Especially because you have
and I'm
two
all-
neighbors.
yeah,
Is the back neighbor
Right.
fence or no?
yeah. Well, that was my fence too.
But they didn't put anything up.
No.
So yeah, I would definitely go to them and say,
It's like
hey,
I
look,
basically fenced in a third of 2 people's yards.
That's how most people do. That's
Right.
I have
Right.
rental properties the same way. I've been waiting to see if they're going to put a fence up.
Right.
'Cause, you know,
And we're kind of
especially now
playing
that
that
my
little
insurance company.
We're kind of playing that little waiting game, but like now that I have a dog, it's kind
You
of
gotta
forcing
make
my
it.
hand. Right.
Yeah, we
Appreciate
got
that.
plenty. But yeah, I'm fighting the same thing now with that, especially now that my insurance company's filed bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's such a we need to cover that maybe next week, man. About these freaking insurance companies.
So, you know the whole. I know you.
Yeah, I don't want to get in that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
My wife's already
But
texting me.
So on the next episode, we'll talk about this, and I'll just preface it. So when our adjusters first came out, it was like, hey, look, we just need to make initial claims. So everything I can see, we're going to write.
Right.
And in initial claims, we'll make supplements. Perfect, great.
Yeah.
Got the initial claim. Write a supplement. The company goes bankrupt.
It's
So what happens to your supplemental claim?
right. It goes bye bye.
Don't get it.
Yep. That's nuts.
So in my initial claim, they paid for me to rip out my cabinets.
But no replacement.
Didn't replace it.
See,
So on the next episode of Not So I Divide.
right? Yeah, I had a really good. Look.
And it was like, I get it.
We
and
got
it's like, I
dropped
just
and it broke my
forgot
heart
it.
because we had a really good insurance
You
company.
know?
Like they didn't do that to us.
It's like, well, this is the thing. It's the second underwriter,
Right.
right? So, I mean, Southern Fidelity, you can look it up. Southern Fidelity is a extremely large 5-star rated company. But when you get these things called lawyers involved,
Right.
and 90% of people get lawyers and they start suing,
Yeah.
everything
Let's
gets
not
state
get-
max
let's not get
policy.
too much into it. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a deep dive, and I think a lot of people would
But yeah,
like that.
so next episode, you get it. We'll depart on this, guys. Again, it's always the joy of my week, the highlight
yeah,
of my,
yeah, I look
of
forward
my
to it.
morning. Brandon, I'll start with you, man. Any departing words, advice?
Just want to thank our listeners and viewers and remind them to tell their friends, tell their mom and them about us. Get the word out, man. That's how we're going to stay in business.
That's it.
That's how we're gonna grow. Yeah. Just like always, man. Love you guys. I really look forward. Whether we getting paid to do this or not, it's a labor of love kind of thing. We would be having these conversations whether there were mics in front of us or not. So,
Correct.
we really do enjoy it. And that's why a lot of times we get off topic because we kind of have the premise of we're just having a conversation like we normally would. We just threw some headphones and mics on. So, for our viewers that like a very, strict. I'm sorry. We're trying to improve, but
Not gonna change.
I mean, yeah.
Well, leave feedback and let us know.
Yeah, that's
some people
a
might
good
like
point.
that. We just go all crazy. Some might hate it. I don't know.
Most people, because again, it's conversation, and conversations do that.
Right.
And I think, and when you listen to majority of your popular podcasts, that's what happens. Unless you're tuning into a podcast for a specific topic,
Right. Now, if we have a guest,
You
we
know?
a lot of times normally
Yeah.
we'll keep it on that guest, or if we have a hot topic we want to cover, we do a decent job. But
Next week's gonna be a hot topic.
yeah, it will be.
We're getting down and dirty on it.
But
I'll even get some insurance people here
yeah, I'm game for
because
that.
I just think it's like people. I think that's the thing people want to know about.
Yeah.
Like, what are our options?
Right, and that's not just something regionally here. That's something that can happen.
Well,
Any kind of natural disaster,
Something we know
across
is
the
in
United
Florida.
States. Right. So I mean, it's
so
good. It's good information to put out there. But thank you. Love you guys. Love our listeners. And until next time.
remember, the divide is not so wide.
Peace.